So, toss pot on again, another tasty game coming up that means, again, a hell of a lot in Group B. And we seem to have been saying that all day long, aside from, I think, the first game when nothing was really already decided. But now this game, there's a lot riding on it.
Really is. I mean, normally an SK MYM game is a grand final or is something of that magnitude. Now it's actually a game where the loser's out.
Yeah, I'm not sure about out completely. The MYM are sat in second place, I believe, with 9 points. We've got so many, results going round in our heads from Group B, things going on that we're not expecting. Usually, group stage is easy, to calculate who's where and what they need to do to go through and what they.
And you could almost say it before a match has even been played. Now.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, we've got games going on all the time over in the other area as well. But up on the stage, obviously, it's going to be MYM versus SK. We've just seen SK lose against Mouseport. So this game, in my opinion, I guess statistically speaking as well, is more important for SK to win going forward from this tournament. From this game. What do you think to this one? I mean, as you said, this is usually a finals game.
It really is, and I think there's this is two sides who now MYM are back to their original roster. Two sides that have met many, many times. I think actually you can grab off the SK site, and Carmack was keen to pimp it for us that some of the history between the two sides. And out of the last few games, SK have in fact beaten MYM. The last 3 times they've met. So big stuff for SK that they go into this and will look to finish the job off.
Yeah, of course, SK beat MYM at the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge in Los Angeles, which was 16-2. It was quite a heavy defeat actually, for MYM there. And obviously, SK then went on to win that event as well. So they were kind of the informed team there. We'll have to see how they actually get together and kind of bounce back from that Mouseports defeat. Obviously, we'll be able to talk to them in a little while and see exactly how that goes. So, without further ado, let's get the teams on the stage. First up will be SK Gaming. We've just seen them lose some Mouseports. First up will, of course, be Robin. We praised him so much during that last game, actually, Tosspot, and hopefully, for SK's sake, he's in that same kind of form here against MYM. Then up, we have Tentpole, as we said earlier, former Fnatic player, and again, a rock inside that SK lineup. 21 years old. And the next man up, Wally. We spoke to him earlier here on the couch. And well, Matt spoke to him afterwards as well, and not so happy with that defeat.
Who would
as
be?
You probably wouldn't, as you probably would expect. Then up we have Alan. This time I'll get it right. He's not the newest man in the lineup. Of course, Jimmy Allen, 20 years old. Again, super flary player, if you like, for the SK lineup. Then, of course, Zet, the man that's come into the lineup recently. And, well, done good things, contrary to what Matt Ryder says, in my opinion. 24 years old, that completes the SK roster. Of course, the team that we'll be facing here are, of course, Meet Your Makers, and a team that have gone through some changes recently and then changed back.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, they've been doing quite well throughout this tournament. They lost one game earlier on, but now things looking much better for them. So let's bring MYM onto the stage. And first of all, for MYM, it will be Kuban. I'm not even going to try and pronounce these Polish names, by the way. Otherwise, I will get murdered. There we go. 20 years old, a man that was taken out of the team, then brought back in. Then we have Taz. Superb player, and a player that when he's on form, again, kind of tentpole kind of role, really solid, really sturdy, and can always be relied on. And of course, we have another man coming on stage. Of course, he's Lord, one of my favourite players to watch actually. Quite mellow, I think, in terms of his game style, but again, can hit those big shots. Then, of course, Luke, who, in terms of his game style, I'd say the opposite almost to Lord. Very fiery player and certainly a big talent. Then finally, well, the biggest talent maybe of the MYM team is, of course, Neo. We've seen many movies around him, and he has many fans. So that will complete the MYM roster. They're going to go up against SK here in this game. It's going to be a thriller for sure, and actually will be the last game of the evening. We're going to go to a quick advertisement. When we come back, we will be talking to Twice from MYM and Wally from SK, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, and I'm joined here on the couch by two of esports' most celebrated guys. It is Twice of MYM and, of course, Wally of SK. Twice, I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to ask you a more general question than the CS question. What's ongoing in MYM right now? Obviously, in the headlines for all sorts of business reasons more than anything. This franchise thing, what's it all about?
That's a long story. Basically, it's a regular franchise deal, which means that another company taking over the daily running of the brand MYM and its teams.
Now, its teams changed in Warcraft in particular, but the CS seemed pretty constant. There was very little said about the CS guys. Have they been affected by what's been ongoing in the boardroom?
No, not at all.
And how are they focused for this event? How much preparation could they get in?
We've been having a lot of preparation. We've been playing online only, no boot camp, so we've been playing for the last 2 months a lot of hours every day. So,
now you've got two 16-14s on the board prior to this in the tournament. How do you feel those matches went for you? 16-14 on paper reads like they were very close games, were they?
Yeah, we played some close games. I think all of our games actually were pretty close, but also we had in our group almost only very good teams. So,
now SK are a team that you know very, very well. How do you prepare for a game against them?
Well, same as we prepare for every other game. Just we've been playing a lot. Now we're facing them and we're hoping for the best.
Well, let's hear what they've got to say. Wally, what are you going to change after that last match? I saw you guys outside. Very intense conversations ongoing.
Well, I guess that's mainly the thing that's going to change is the map, and I hope that's going to bring some freshness into our game. But we just talked and tried to pump each other up and find out what we did wrong and try to improve it, because we still have a shot at the tournament. So basically just motivating each other, and the new map is going to be good for us too, I think.
Is it a surprise for you that things have not gone your way today?
Beforehand, I wouldn't have guessed we would do so bad. So I guess it's kind of a surprise, yeah.
Now, is there ever a case when you're up on that stage that you just want to go over to one of your players and just slap them on the back of the head and say perform? Or is it just a case of collectively the team is just not performing?
Well, I think that versus Mouse, it was a collective, and I mean, it's so hard to say because I don't remember all the details, but mainly I just get so frustrated myself.
How do you overcome those demons? I mean, for you personally, you sort of need to get yourself straight back in there, sort of forget everything that's gone before and come in afresh. Is that possible?
I think it's hard because it's still in the back of your head, and we just played that game, so I think a good start would be good for us. A bad start would be especially bad with all the bad results so far, so I'm really hoping for a good start.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. I wish you all the best in the match. Let's have a look.
This time, Tosspot, it was actually you who were the lightning fast up there. Well done. I think you handled it better than me. Yeah, you handled it better than me. So this game is a crunch game. Crazy things going on in Group B. As it stands right now, Alternate, Meet Your Makers sat top of the group with 3 wins and 1 loss each. Now, obviously they have 9 points. Below them is Mousesports with 6 points, then SK with 4, Crack Clan with 4, and Emulate with 3. So as you can see, those lower areas are really quite dangerous. Now, SK, of course, they can really move up the groups here. If they manage to beat MYM and Mousesports lose to Crack Clan, they can actually overtake Mousesports. But obviously, if Mousesports beat Crack Clan, then they stay there, but they will get that 4th position, which means they do get to fight for the spot in the global finals, which, you know, all things taken aside, would be kind of mission accomplished in a way. I mean, obviously there's huge money here for the European finals, but not on the scale as that are in the global finals. So that surely has to become a priority in this situation.
And also, I think you'd look at them if they did finish 4th, then they'd play probably Faculty, and I think you'd have to favour them for it. Fresh coming in for that one. So it's not crisis stations yet. They don't have to press the big red button yet.
Yeah, and obviously in Group A, just to quickly go over that, it's pretty much done and dusted now. We have all the games played. MTW first, Fnatic second, ATS third, Faculty fourth, Blank fifth, Millennium unfortunately lost all their games and are sat down in sixth position with no points. So that will mean that obviously MTW goes straight through into the playoffs. Fnatic will play third place from Group B, which is still, of course, completely up in the air. And then ATS will play second place from Group B, and Faculty will play the fourth place for that position in the global final. So still many, many different options that we could really see. And it's always hard to, mid-game say, this is happening in this game, this is going to happen there, and so therefore this is what is happening. The best thing to do is play the games, see what's happening, and see exactly how SK come out. And that's what they've got to think about, not what's going on in other games. They've got to win this game.
Mousesports versus Crack Clan, the big one to decide it. Only 5 rounds down, but the Finns have got the lead. They lead by 3 rounds to 2. The other live game at the moment is Alternate versus Emulate, and that is 4-4. So tense times here.
Mousesports actually could be knocked out of the tournament if, then this is a big if, of course, Emulate win, Crack Clan win, and SK win. Then they can slide out of things, which is,
But it'd be down to round difference as well, because they'd all have 2 wins. Oh, no, if SK and Crack Clan, yeah, you're right.
If SK and Crack Clan both win, that will slide Mousesports down into 5th position, which, of course, will mean, no global finals, no playoffs, end of the road for Mousesports.
Well, we are the harbingers of doom for these guys. However, their game against Crack Clan is still in its infancy. Oh, well.
So we are just waiting for this to start, as the lovely Micah is talking German over the top of us. But we go on, we go on in English. And at the moment, we're just waiting for these guys to ready up. We've got all 5 players for both teams, I think. I'm just missing one from MYM. And of course, things apparently not set up properly just yet, so we'll wait for that to come in. What's your opinion on this one? We're looking like we're going to be playing Nuke. I'm not sure if that is the final decision. Cartman's slacking over there. Well, not slacking, obviously he's fixing the issues, but slacking as far as telling me what's going on. Maybe we'll have to slap him at some point. But I'm sure we'll find out the map here sooner or later. But I think, as Wally said, as long as it's not Inferno, a change of map would be very nice.
Now, in that interview with Wally, I sort of wanted to go over to him and give him a big hug. I felt like he was going to cry. I felt like he was so upset, so angry. How's that going to play on it? How's the fact that you couldn't pay those SK guys to smile right now?
Well, from their point of view and, from the organization's point of view, I hope that they kind of just bury the hatchet and, just forget about that Mousesports game. Come into this one, treat it as a fresh game. They've done well against MYM recently in all the games that they've played against them, and just focus on the game at hand. And because if you look back during the game, you're thinking about other things, then you don't got your focus, you've not got your concentration, and you're going to end up slipping up.
You make it sound so easy.
Of course.
Good to hear that the MYM guys have got a lot of practice under their belt online. I think that's a rarity from what the interviews that we've had today. Most people have said, oh, well, we've had a week, we've had 2 weeks, we made this change, blah, blah, blah. MYM, dedication to the cause.
Yeah, that's always great to see. And MYM, of course, I think of the teams with new rosters, I think they were the first one to kind of nail it down and say, this is our new roster for the season.
And that's not really a new roster either.
Yeah, exactly. They're not total strangers to each other like some of for instance, the Fnatic roster almost is. So I think that MYM maybe will do well in this tournament. Before this one, I kind of pointed at them to flop, but at the moment it looks like that could be their SK or Mousesports.
Mousesports in particular would be a big surprise. They are down by 4 rounds to 3 against Crack Clan at the moment. Still very much in its infancy. Crack Clan, if you're not aware of the old gameplay side, Spike, Lupus, Plast, Conte, Nesu, guys have been around a long, long time and are good at causing upsets.
Crack Clan, for instance, yeah, they always seem to be causing upsets left, right, and centre. Obviously, they're a very solid team. They've been around for what seems like forever with, almost 4 of the same players, changing one here, there, and everywhere. Actually, now they've, of course, got Spike 1 in the team instead of Ruit. So that's, again, a fresh face. They're under a new organization. And I think they do probably have somewhat of a hunger to come out of this one and maybe qualify for those finals, especially since they didn't qualify directly anyway for these European finals. They came in to replace Giants.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they hadn't been playing a whole lot, because at that point they didn't have an organization and they didn't have anything to play for. So what they've done in such a short period of time is very, very good. Anyway, we've had ourselves a ninth round, and it was SK that won it. They will choose to defend, of course. It is Nuke, and it is just that much harder to attack. And let's see whether SK can do it.
Yeah, SK in particular, I think, on Nuke are a very, very tasty team to watch, and MYM will certainly have their work cut out, but yeah, same on the other side of the fence. It's certainly going to be a very, very difficult game for both of these teams. Obviously, it's the last game of the day as well, so that may come into play, the fact that both of these teams have been sat there playing 5 whole games today, and all 30 rounds of each one as well, so it's been a long day for both teams. I think, you know, with it coming into the last one, with it being so high pressured, hopefully that fatigue won't kind of show and kind of hinder the process of either of these teams.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We're about to find out. We are good to go as we have our restarts, and we are, in fact, not live, as we're going to restart this one once again. Almost got excited. Don't shoot your load too early, that's my advice. And we're ready to go once again. Joe, here's a penny. You can have 2 pennies if you correctly tell me who's going to win this one. MYM or SK?
MYM.
MYM.
Yeah.
Carmack agrees. The polls are... I think they're certainly favourites for it. But SK are a team of legends, and legends don't fall so easy. So this is going to be a very, very interesting matchup.
Yeah, when the back's to the wall, you know, it can make things that little more interesting. Alan saying, a large sausage sandwich. Pretty good German from Alan there.
Pretty good German from Joe.
So we will get the restarts in anytime soon. Taz saying, come on. And it looks like both these teams are ready. I always enjoy watching MYM playing on stage because they are probably one of the most vocal teams out there with the woo that we usually hear from MYM. Yeah,
and I enjoy Neo in particular. Never a dull moment when Neo's on the server, as he has the tendency to do what, well, five men can't do, and certainly delivers for them. It's been a great day here at CBIT as well. We've seen some very, very good games. Of course, Mal's alternate pops up, but other than that, for you, what's been your highlight of the day?
Well, I kind of missed what I wanted to be my highlight of the day, which was Arnold Schwarzenegger opening CBIT. But other than that, obviously, it was Mal Sports versus Alternate Attacks. I mean, that game, absolutely amazing. And we said before that, oh, this might just be the best game of the day. And it actually was.
So if we say that now, does that perhaps mean this one might just be?
It might be. So, this is MYM versus SK. It might just be the best game of the day. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, SK winning 9th round, starting here on CT side, as you would expect. Quick rundown of the teams. We've already seen them come on stage. But for MYM, we have Neo, Kuben, Taz, Luck, and Lord. And for SK, we have Zet, Wally, Robin, Alan, and Tentpole. So, let's get this one rocking and rolling and see exactly who comes out on top of this pistol round, which, of course, for MYM would be a nice start to things after losing that 9th round, but actually Wally will come up with the first frag. Lord's grenade comes flying in. Kuben with almost a synchronized grenade onto Wally there. Alan will bring it back to a 3 versus 3, and things slow down once again. Zet's just spotted a red shirt moving in towards the windows there. Neo is out of this round, and Alan says, oh, there is a guy up there. Jumps off the ladder a couple of times, and I'm guessing lost, 20 HP. Great play by Zet, though. Goes on the outside, he's looking for his second. Lord will be there ready and waiting, and it's down to now a 2-on-1. Lord, the last man standing for MYM. He's got just 4 HP. We'll see what he can do. We've got Robin inside ramp room, Alan in garage, and it's probably going to be Alan. It will spot this one, and it will. Lord will be taken out of the game, and SK on CT side will pick up the pistol round and will take that early advantage. Quick score update in a second when, read more loads. that is obviously the game between Mouse Sports and Crack Clan. The other game that's going on is going to be Alternate and Emulate, which again can impact on where everyone finishes, who goes through, and things like that.
Yes, very big games in this one. We'll keep you updated as we go. MYM pick up that pistol, SK picking up that pistol, very important for them. And you know what? Wally said, if we have a good start, we can have a very good start. And that's exactly what they would look to do from this. They need to build on it. It is a CT-sided map. It is a map where you'd expect that advantage to soon be capitalized upon. And I think for SK, they need to make this one, they need to put 5 quick rounds on the board. Let MYM feel the wrath, the anger that's been building up in those Swedish men for all day. As Zet will fire a shot down the radio now. Nades across. MYM are nowhere near there. They haven't even committed. Mouse Sports versus Crack Clan is 6-4 in favor of the Finns. As MYM continue to now make their way through. They 4 men outside the Tin Can and Radio Room area. Neo the most advanced for them, of course. Why not send the battering ram in first as he makes his way through. MYM now look to exit from the Tin Can as they go through with Lord B. Kuban gets himself the first frag, but that only angers Tentpole, who answers up with 2, and so does Wally. SK need just 1 more. It is the battering ram that's left up. He's going to have to go it all on his own with 3 to find, and only 68 points of health to do it with. Neo continues to prowl as he edges his way forward. The SK players know where he is. They're firing off shots in his general direction as he makes his way across, and Neo's in trouble here, and Neo's down. Wally completes his hat-trick of the round. And for all of MYM's time, they didn't get any frags.
Yep, they've managed just 5, obviously, in the whole game so far. And now SK looking to make this one 3. MYM are going to hold out, of course, for this third round. Quick score update again in a few seconds. Hopefully, when we can get things going. I always see toss pressing F5 and then expect it to instantly load. However, it won't. But this time it did. 7-4 is the score in favor of Crack Clan. I've just heard another scream over there as well, so maybe that's another round going away of one of those sides. Like I said, we still have Alternate and Emulate to play their game. As now Neo is just waiting inside of Lobbit with the rest of his teammates. MYM not pushing out just yet. They're trying to kind of maybe bait out the SK team or just figure out exactly where the defensive positions are going to be and then try and make some kind of move from there. Kuban will move his way slowly but surely down towards ramp room. Surely there's going to be a man on there. There will be a flash coming over the top. Kuban will walk straight through it. Alan will take him down. Maybe Alan can get a few more here. There are 3 members inside of that ramp room. Robert comes in with 2 and a third there to make his hat-trick. Wally spraying through. Hook will find the last one of Lord, and that will be the 3 rounds complete after Pistol, and it will make it 3-0 SK. Let's see if MYM can come back into this now after on their first gun round.
Massive round for MYM in this one. They have they're on their first buy round, and they're in a position which must be perilous at this moment in time, with SK looking to wash away the memories of this morning. MYM will have to deliver something special here if they want to deal with it. It's 7-4 in favor of Crack Clan in the other game. MYM now make their way up to the roof and fire across into the main hall. Fire in the disco as the SK side have evacuated. Temple did take some damage though. He's the only one that did. MYM have made their job 25 hit points easier as they boost their way along. Now it is Neo to push his way onto the roof. There's no SK players taking the bait just yet, but they are interested. Like fish in the water, they see that the bait's been dropped, but they're cautious of the hook. And Robin may be the first one to swim his way towards it as SK wait. Not to happen for them yet. Here comes MYM though, the shark that is Jesus apparently, making his way through. Robin gets himself that first frag onto Neo. The man who was going to take the bait turns out to take the fisherman with him as SK have got themselves a a man down as the MYM side continue to push. They've got Lord B leveling things up with 1, with 2. Great work. Wally comes in, fragging Jesus before getting himself a second one. Taz goes down. Lord B claims himself the third. Tempole back in on the action, and we're frag for frag here. MYM have just got Kuban left up. He has Robin and Tempole to deal with, and Robin finds him and frags him, and SK pick up the round.
Yep, as we said at the start of this one, as Wally said rather, if SK get off to a good start, they could get off to a really good start. And right now, it's looking almost flawless for them. There was a bit of a scare midway through that one. I liked Robin's aggressive position out by the red box on the outer area. And MYM didn't actually check around there. They went straight to the left, and that cost them 2 men from that. And then Wally again inside of ramp room, hitting his shots just when it counted. Let's see what MYM can do. Flash is going out here into that upper side. It will be a fast push straight in there. Kuban's grenade and the Deagle get 2. Zet and Allen reply back here for SK. It's down to a 3 versus 3, and maybe now MYM will change the direction of their attack. They are a man in front of them. Taz will find him, looking for the second. Allen replies. All level, and to say MYM are actually on a deco round here, or at least it was, until Alan decided he was going to chime in and just go straight through the MYM team and makes it 5-0, 1/3 through this first half, just to go all fractions on you, and SK got a nice lead building up.
More expensive than I think SK would like to admit that round, as they lost 3 men on a deagle round, but credit to MYM, they got the forward spawn point and they rushed. They rushed like they had the wind in their sails, and it didn't allow SK time to get in. That first nade opened MYM up. MYM with a dodgy nade there as they make their way through now around the outside. SK are nowhere to be seen at the moment. SK have spotted by flushing out the tin can area that MYM are coming at a different angle. They're all around the back. Neo is the man who's looking for them. He's been quiet thus far for MYM as the push comes through. Wally gets himself the frag in on Kuban. SK keeping themselves objectively set as they don't want to surrender these, surrender the fact that MYM around the outside still, but MYM have chimed in with 3 frags. Neo's got 2 of them, Jesus has got 1 of them, and MYM continue to make their move. It's Tempole and Zet that are going to have to stop this one, and they go about it. Zet frags Neo, Lord B's down. We're into a 1-on-2 in favor of MYM. It's Zet that's going to have to do something about it. Zet who needs to come up big for SK and doesn't. Jesus, amazingly, is bigger than Zed.
Yeah. Fantastic holding play again by Lucky. Obviously, a squeaky door makes a lot of noise when you open it, and it's pretty obvious he was going to go straight through there. So, good try by Zet, but in the end, didn't pay off for him. That'll be 5-1 first round of the match for MYM. Don't forget they're on the weaker T side, so I'm not expecting all that much from them, really. Obviously, they'd like to go in with a fairly tight scoreline, moving on to the easier CT side, so it's start to edge away as things get good for them. At the moment, SK on an eco round. MYM going to look for those initial kills. Kuban, first of all, will look down in towards ramp room, just looking at the score. Actually, Lord is top in the frag list at the moment. Neo at the bottom, that's not usually something we see. The bomb will be planted in on that upper side. Of course, SK on that eco decided all to stack inside of ramp room. And well, they're going to fall like flies if they try to push in there. I'm guessing they're just going to take things slow. Ladder, maybe a better option for them. They will start to move around, that bomb ticking away. 3 of them climb up on the ladder there. Now moving there. Neo, Taz, Lord, all going to work here, and it was easy for MYM. They knew that SK were going to try to get back in there at some point, and when they did, they were ready.
SK were on an eco in that round, and MYM won that round as a result of MYM's aggression. SK have not had a flawless round yet, and in MYM's 2 ecos, they've got a total of 5 frags in the 2 of them. They've done very, very well, MYM, at making sure that SK are constantly spending money, and the result is at the moment things got a little rough. SK had to save, and MYM could turn the game back in their favor, and now look to build on that as it's 5-2. MYM, of course, now facing a fully armed SK, who set themselves up waiting on MYM, who are outside rattling off some shots. They landed on Tempole last time. They've not this time, who stands proud at the moment. waiting on MYM's recovery. The score in the Crackclan Mouse Sports game is Crackclan 9, Mouse Sports 5. Remember, if results conspire, Mouse Sports could be out, despite beating SK. However, that still requires SK winning this game. That at the moment is still many rounds away from happening. The cheer in the back means Mouse Sports have won a round, though, and they're not dead and buried just yet. That a point proven when they were 10-5 down at the half-time against SK early on. Came back to win. Still, this round, slowly but surely about to come to life as SK continue to wait for Mouse Sports to come to them. Alan sits waiting. Jesus is going to move through. Wiley gets himself the frag onto Taz. Neo comes in with one back. 4 on 4. Neo strikes. Kuban B gets himself one. Lord B gets himself another. And there's Kuban in with his own. It leaves just Zet to do the damage for SK. He has 3 more to find to add to his one. Zet's been got 4 frags this round and swaps up for an AK, which he will undoubtedly sit and wait on. And SK are going to drop this round. It's their second round in a row that they've lost. That pulls us back to a 5-3. Your thoughts?
It was difficult. I mean, there were good counter flashes coming in towards Hut there as Neo will finally pick off Zet at the end. The counter flashes from SK were actually really nice at going down into Hut, but you know, MYM just hit the shots when they actually were able to see again. Actually, half-time just came up in Crackclan versus Mouse Sports. 10-5. That was 10 rounds on T-side of Inferno for Crackclan, which surely make them very happy people, very happy Finns, in fact. As we will now see an attack. Oh, bad grenade from MYM. That surely will cost them. The first one went flying through Squeaky, the second one rattling off the wall and exploding right at the feet. Flashes going over to the back of Vents. Here come SK, they are on a safe, so MYM's part of grenading may be forgiven here. As Robin picks off Taz, the rest of them will just sit there and, well, SK coming out on the top of ladder. It's almost like a duck shoot up there, and that will bring the score back to almost level at 5-4, and SK were 5-0 in the lead. Where's it gone?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. And MYM know that their individual talents have forced the issue. The fact that they got the frags on SK's rounds meant that they had the opportunity to turn it on that eco, and now they're reaping the rewards because SK are wobbling again. So far, every SK wobble has led to a collapse, but we'll see whether they can change this. They have been, Wally's chimed in with one. It's Neo that goes down for MYM. The Juggernaut as they pull back. Wally comes back, leading from the front. The captain, Wally, gets himself his second frag. Now Kuban will run the gauntlet as well. MYM continue to push along. Looking for Wally, he's got reinforcements to his right, but he's got Jesus on his tail who finds himself the frag. And MYM make their way back into this round as Alan will sit poised, needing to fill the boots of Wally. Lord B comes in and downs Robin. Excellent frag, and SK find themselves 3 versus 3 in this one, with Tentpole looking to recover. And SK looking to happily wind down a few more seconds on this clock and let MYM regroup and find themselves in a position where they quite urgently need to pick up this round when they regroup. But they're going very slowly because they don't know whether anyone from SK would have pushed out whilst they were going out around the outside. And Jesus comes up with his second frag of the round. Great work from him as Taz, aka Jesus, has himself that one. And there's Alan back in on the business. SK pull it back to 2-on-2, and this one goes tit for tat in frags, and it could be SK's opportunity to stop the rot and maintain their lead. Otherwise, we're going to 5-5. Alan pushes through now. Lord B is the man who'll go up against him. But hello! Zet comes from nowhere through the tin can and drops both Lord and Kuban to save the round for SK.
Yeah, and our good friend Matt Ryder asked where the old Zet was. And Wally, I think, his response was good. He is here. He is the old Zet. You know, I don't think the criticism that he put down of Zet was kind of just. I mean, agree. Zet's been rather fantastic since he joined SK, in my opinion. He's done a lot for the team, and, well, he's continued to do so, winning crucial rounds like that actually put SK back into a healthy 2-round lead. look to be building on that now. Alan and Tempole go to work. Actually, Taz is inside of that bomb site. They've not spotted him. Finally, they do as Robin comes around. Lord will come up with a double before being shut down by Wally. Last man standing is, of course, going to be Luck here. Or Jesus, as he likes to be called now. Not egotist. And we'll move in. Taking down Zet. It's a 1 versus 1. Robin versus Luck. I'm not going to give health or positions away, so I'm not sure if either of these players can hear. You can see both of them. The thing that, of course, Robin has on his side is that bomb is down right in front of him, and he knows that Luck will have to come and try to get it. And if Robin sits in his position that he's in now, I think he should be able to defend it fairly easily. Just needs to be careful not to kind of sell himself short from the other positions and overexpose himself. 37 seconds to go. These players looking for that final kill. Luck knows he has to get down there to collect that bomb. He's only got 22 HP, so he's got to be careful dropping down, and he doesn't be careful dropping down and kills himself. And, well, GG says Luck.
Even Jesus makes mistakes.
Yeah. I'm just speechless. I mean,
was perhaps not what we expected, but SK and MYM continue to go at it. SK have stopped the rot from 5-0 to 5-4, now to 7-4, as the Swedes pick up 2 consecutive rounds. Neo will lead the assault. He has been quiet, a gentle giant thus far. Taz gets himself the frag. Wally comes up with 2, make that 3 frags as he delivers for SK. And Wally is one of those players who really cometh the hour, cometh the man type of stuff. He leaves just Neo on his own, and Zet finishes him off. I mean, remember the WCGO 6 final where Wally and Zet were against this MYM side, and Wally went on a massive AWP ace round 1v5. And it was just, that's the kind of stuff that Wally can do to bring SK back. They may be in a rut right now, but players like him can change a match and change a tournament.
What do you think to MYM as, you know, kind of mentally almost as a team? Do you think that when they start to lose kind of more than a lot of the other bigger teams, they fall into a rut and they get mad at themselves and at each other and they kind of fall off of it a little bit?
There's a football chant that says, you only sing when you're winning. And when MYM are winning, they're screaming woo. And when they're not, they're losing rounds.
This is true. And at the moment, they are losing rounds. They are 9-4 behind. We have 2 rounds to go. Well, if they both go to SK, MYM certainly could be in a spot of bother. We had a score update there from Crack Clan versus Mouse. It's been a long day. And it is 12 rounds to 5 in favor of Crack Clan. So, well, this is good for SK because they know in the back of their minds that they have to win and they have to, well, they're hoping that Mouse Sports win as well. But if they win, it works out a little bit better for them if Crack Clan win as well. The score in Emulate versus Alternate is 14-10 in favor of Alternate, as Robin and Alan both going to work. That was a deco round coming out from MYM. They will buy up this final one. And, well, they could really do with getting it.
Tell you what is a big factor for MYM. We saw it in Dubai. The man standing behind this MYM side twice, quite happily would get involved in that halftime team talk and really put a rocket in the pocket of the MYM players and rattle their cages and get them fired back up. I think come this halftime, we'll see him do exactly that. There's just 1 round left in it. SK have won their rounds in spurts of 5, proving the momentum theories once more. And they are now looking to break that into a spurt of 6. Let's see whether they can do that to make it 11-4 going into halftime. Neo and Tentpole exchange frags, and we're at a 4 versus 4. As Law B comes up with 1, bomb planted. Kuban now walks himself into trouble looking for players as they make their way across. It is Alan who gets himself 1. Big frag onto Law B before Jesus comes up with 1, and Neo comes up with a final frag of the half. It is going to be 10-5 at halftime, but SK, about 2 hours ago, were in this position at halftime against Mouse, and they conspired to throw it all away.
That is a true story indeed, and that game was equally as important, I think, for both of those teams then. But this one, even more so for SK now. They know that they just cannot let that happen once again. Of course, Inferno, different story, as Wally said, completely, 10 times happier with a new map. And that's showing so far. This is definitely a different SK to the one we saw before. The score at the moment, as we said, between Alternate and Emulate was 14-10. Mouse Sports against Crackclan is still going on as well. That was 13-5 the last time we checked things out. So things going quite nicely for both teams in there, especially, I mean, Mouse Sports shouldn't have too much to worry about. They have to come back into this. It's really hard to call. This Group B is so annoying with how close everyone
wonderful.
is. And I mean, as for my brain that doesn't do statistics, I need a little guy next to me that works it all out.
Well, a calculator.
This is also true. So what do you think, coming into this second half, SK going on to T-side, do you think they'll be able to keep it up from that 10 rounds and take it home?
Well, in the last game, I said it was all sewn up for SK. I said that they were looking very, very good, 10-5 up at halftime, and yet they managed to prove me wrong. But at the same point, I think Wally is angry and is looking like a man who can really change this one back into SK's favor. But I could be wrong, so we really don't know what we're going to see, other than a compelling second half.
Certainly will be a compelling second half. And for you, who stood out in that first half? I mean, there were numerous ones to me. I mean, Zet in particular had some great moments. Wally again, in I think maybe 3 or 4 rounds, took hat-tricks. And that makes a really, really big difference.
Hey, you stood out for me. Neo, I've never seen him be so quiet. Never seen him not deliver big, big frags all the time. And I mean, it proves that he's only human, but at the same time, he needs to step it up a bit. Jesus was delivering for them on a regular basis, but you can't rely on religious icons all the time.
Well, Neo not had a lot to say, but one man that always has a lot to say, whether it be bad, good, or indifferent, is of course Matt Ryder, and he's on the stage with the players.
Joe, I'm really sorry, but we're not going to interview the players. It's just too intense. It's all or nothing for SK. You can see them right behind me now. I do not want to disturb a single one of them because they need to focus on the game, and it's all or nothing. I mean, if there's one thing we can be sure about these 5 players, is they were all born with that burning desire to achieve in their blood, and if they lose this game, they're going to be bitterly disappointed. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Is he just an attention whore guy that just wants to be on the camera?
Yeah. As I said, he has lots to say, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. I think that was indifferent, but you never know. So we will get this one underway. Hopefully we get the restarts coming in. As Matt said, both teams intensely focused right now. He doesn't want to touch them because they may turn around and kill him.
Well, we're going to get this one restarted. I think you're going to have to take it, Joe.
Yeah, those restarts coming in. So, 10-5 the score. Let me write that down because it's late in the day and I can't count to 16 very well. There we go. We've been seeing a lot of 10-5s today, actually. This is the third 10-5 we've seen at halftime. The first one was Alternate versus Mouse Sports. The second one, Mouse Sports versus SK. And, of course, this game as well, which shows 10-5 may just be the dish of the day. Mouse Sports versus Crackclan, incidentally, 10-5 at halftime, is now going to be a different score when we get the refresh. It is 14 rounds to 6 in favor of Crackclan. But we are underway here in the pistol round. MYM versus SK, and SK lead by 5 whole rounds. And this pistol going to be super important for them. They are going to make a push here into ramp room. It will be Temple that gets their first frag. Lord goes down. Kuban will reply. Let's try to get around here as actually Taz was in there as well. Neo pops himself up from the ramp. He decides it's probably best to go back down. And didn't lose all that much health, but I think they did a good job. It's a 3 versus 3. SK hurting a little bit more as far as HP goes than MYM. Robin with a double. He's going to be the final man standing. Is Neo up in the rafters? Can he pull it off? No, he can't. Wally spots him from Hut. Well, SK again winning a pistol. That's both pistols in this game. And that counts for 6 rounds generally, which is a hell of a lot of rounds. And as Wally said, when you can start off good with the win in the pistol, you can keep going.
You certainly can, and it's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Swedes. They'll look now to close this one out. Obviously for CT it's hard to get the because things. Obviously for CT it's harder if you lose the pistol, and as a result, SK will look to convert. And if we get to that 13-5 situation, then those MYM boys who have been quiet that we talked about halftime are going to have to shine. The stars for them will have to align, and we'll see what they've got in the locker. But it's dangerous times for MYM. Every frag counts. They now will face a Robin who is edging his way through. He has Wally for company, but Robin and Zed have got frags. It's Lord and Neo both go down, as does Taz. Jesus follows as well as Robin gets the frag. The last man standing is who for MYM? It is Kuban. And he is being hunted by SK. He's a long way from SK at the moment, actually. Looking to get himself an exit kill. They've got no idea where he is. Important thing is SK have not only got the bomb down, but they've got the 4 frags. They'll pick up this round. They will make it 12-5, and it will continue to edge closer to the magic number of 16 that could well save SK.
Yep, Kuban not able to do anything there. Incidentally, last round Kuban for me was a very, very solid player, and he always has been in the past. Obviously, he was the one that eventually went out of the team for Pioneers, then came back into it. And I think from what I saw of Pioneers, that was a wise decision to bring Kuban back into it. Nothing against Pioneers, of course. But I think that Kuban was a superior player. And as far as the chemistry goes in the team, these guys have been together and won lots together. And it makes total sense to keep it together. Here comes a fast push from SK onto the upper side. Nades up to cover the top of ladder. The bomb is going to be planted here as well by Wally. No team losing a man just yet as SK set out their defences. Here comes Wally. Robin's there as well. Neo went down. Wally will open up. He will find 2. Zet is there as well with his Glock, and he gets 2 headshots with the Glock to finish the round off. That will be 3-0 as expected after winning pistol, and it will of course make it 13 rounds to 5. 3 more needed for SK to guarantee that 4th spot.
It does, and the score from Mouse Crack is 14-7. Mao's showing some resistance, but still 2 rounds away from defeat. They need to show a bit more. Anyway, 13-5, bye round for MYM. Crucial round in the size of the game. If MYM lose this, they'll have to eco next and then bye on match point. So, we'll see whether they can stop that eventuality. Neo, the battering ram, is holding back, as I feel he has been all game. I feel the beast that is inside Neo is somewhat tamed right now. The fire is gone from his belly. As Alan will make his way out. As SK continue to look to make things just that little bit easier by firing those shots off and hoping that they can do some damage to some of these MYM players. And Kuban B would be an example of who they have done some damage to, down to 59 points of health, as is Taz, down to 54 points of health. Good work from SK. They're making things easier for themselves, but can they finish off the job in this round? Lord B is watching with bated breath from the outside, as Tentpole will drop himself down and SK will begin their assault with MYM waiting. Nade pops out from Tentpole, makes his way across now, will continue to push out. Lord B and Kuban get themselves the frag, but Tentpole's come in. Kuban and Lord B are both down, but there's Taz and Neo combining. It leaves 1 on 2. The 1 is set, and the 1 goes down to the beast that is Neo. And the battering ram strikes, and MYM pick it up. Crack Clan have defeated Mousesports, as well as your score update from Ben Woodward over there. And that is MYM back in business.
Certainly is, and Crack Clan back in business, and maybe Mousesports out of business. I mean, Mousesports in their current position are kind of on a bit of a on edge right now. I'd imagine they'll come and watch this one just to see kind of how their fate goes. That needs going down here from MYM. Of course, they will settle things up. Wally will begin to edge his way in towards that upper side to lay the grenades down, and it certainly looks like SK will be going for this upper push. Flashes will go out here from Squeaky and from Robin from the hook. Tempo picks off Kuban. Second one comes in from Wally. And now MYM looking to retort from that one. Lord did briefly with a frag onto Wally, but he wasn't backed up. And now SK are all over that upper bomb site. Look and Neo, the final two players. Neo goes down. Look goes for it with the USP, but Zet was there holding strong on the outer. And SK move one closer, 14 rounds to the 6 of MYM.
Remember, Nuke is a notoriously difficult map to attack, and SK have already got 4 rounds on it. They're playing with confidence. That last assault just demonstrated how confident they are right now. And they forced MYM back into a save round situation. They forced this matter upon them because at 14-6, as we said in the last one, when they win one and they force a save, it should then push them on to match point if they can convert the save into a round. So, will that be the case? As SK sat, waiting. Nades ready to come out from Alan, who blows up a wall. It was a very, very dangerous wall as he makes his way through. SK now poke their head out. Alan will watch with bated breath. It's so far, so good for MYM. They've Kuban's down to 14 points of health, actually. Not so far so good for him. But the other MYM players have got away with out incident from this pre-shooting from SK. Alan waits though. And SK wait on the word go. They say, you know what, until the minute mark, you can shoot through any wall that you want. Then, you're going to go for it. But Neo's got other ideas, gets himself a frag. Robin comes from the back and finds 2. Taz and Neo both down. Remember, Kuban's only got 14 points of health as SK begin to flex their pecs and get into position. Jesus and Disciple are following from behind as they make their way through. It's Lord B, Kuban, Lord B, Jesus, they're all down. And SK are onto match point.
They are indeed onto match point, 15-6, and well, it's a long, long way back for MYM. Maybe you should ult out there and try and figure out exactly what the situation is. 16 rounds to 8, the final score, as we said, Crackland over Mouseport. So Mouseport's position is unclear right now. We'll have to see exactly how the points work out in their favor. Obviously, SK need just this one round to guarantee themselves victory. Don't know if we have to play out all the rounds here. Of course, this is the final actual match of this group stage. We went through earlier, Group 1 already decided with MTW moving straight through there, undefeated. Once again, SK will spam through the walls. Let's take a look through MYM, see if we've lost anything. Yep, Taz is down already to half health points, and that is surely not good. So in Group B, we have Stuart working everything out as Lord will pick off one. Robin replies, and MYM know exactly what they need to do here with the limited resources that they have for masses pretty much all around, aside from the one that M4 that is actually now out of things. You can see where Luck is right now there. Keep him hidden and not give his position away. Neo just firing through into the lobby area as well. SK not decided yet where to go. They are certainly stacking up, so they will make that upper push. Flashes will go in. Tentpole flashes towards the top as well. He is rushed down by Taz. He is covered by Robin though. And SK are in on this upper side. It's now a 2 versus 3. Neo and Luck have to do the business here for MYM to keep them in the game. One of them goes down. Neo is now last man standing, 1 versus 2. What can Neo do? Can he save MYM from losing here to SK? No, he cannot. Robin will take him down, and that will be good games. SK will take it 16 rounds to 6. And Tosspot, you have done the calculations. What is the deal?
It means that Alternate and MYM will go through in top spot with 9 points each, having both of them won 3 matches. In fact, Alternate, I didn't even do it. If they beat Emulate, they would have gone through with 12 points. Mousesports from 3rd place in the last game of the round will drop from 3rd all the way down to 5th, with SK going in 3rd and Crackland coming through in 4th place. Crackland weren't able to do enough to their round efficiency, which was some 10 rounds down, to save themselves. SK's round efficiency from this one will be too good to stop Crackland forcing a few beads of sweat on SK's faces. So SK will go through. Crackland will go into the playoff for the against the 4th place in the other group, which was Faculty. So Crack Clan will face Faculty. The winner of that goes into the Worlds as a 7th place Euros team. But SK, they've left it late in the day, but they've saved themselves.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. They are going to play out all of the rounds here. I'm not sure how that actually impacts on things.
Well, if SK lose every single round on this one, they'd still go through, because Crack Clan would have to up their core count by 15 rounds, which they just obviously weren't able to do. So it doesn't make any difference. SK could lose every round from this point on, and they would still go through.
Okay, so SK through then. Well, great day of action, Stu. I mean, obviously these rounds, I guess they just want to play and just finish it off.
They don't know.
Have a bit of fun. Yeah, they don't know, of course. They don't know what the deal is. But you have to say, from Group B, the surprise team, without a shadow of a doubt, is Alternate.
Yes, it was Alternate's day. This is what day one will be remembered from the IEM Grand Finals here. The day Alternate shook the world. They beat Mousesports in a great game. They beat MYM, they beat SK, they beat everyone. I'm just going to confirm that they did beat Emulate. But, I mean, from your perspective, how do Alternate wake up tomorrow and do exactly the same? You know, rinse, lather, repeat.
I have no idea. I mean,
they did beat.
Yeah, they did beat Emulate 18 rounds to 12. Yeah. So you know, Alternate for me today have kind of come into it. There was no pressure on them in my eyes. They weren't, you know. No, Germany wasn't looking at them and saying, you are number one, you must go through, like they were at Mousesports. Of course, Mousesports are the reigning champion of the Intel Extreme Masters. They won Season 2 over Istro at CBIT last year. Of course, NTW in Group A, I have to mention them because they're parading around with their Viking equipment.
Yeah, maybe they could tell us, why the Viking swords? Why? Just because you're Vikings?
It's awesome.
Oh, that's a good enough reason. Can you have some Viking hats as well? In the final, Viking hats.
That should be cool.
And a longboat.
They'll sail away in a longboat on the carpet. It won't go very far. But yeah, MTW again, come out with flying colours. They've carrying on, in my opinion, from what we saw from them last year. I'm unsure whether anyone can beat them. Although they had a ropey start, I think we have to put that down to it being first game of the day. Really.
Yeah, I'd agree there. But I think the dark horses for the World Finals have to be Crack Clan. You saw when they began, they lost. At the beginning of the day, they lost. As they got stronger as the day went on. And that's good news for them. It also gives them, what, a day or two to practice. If they can get themselves some form of the opportunity to boot camp or something like that, get in the car, drive to a LAN center and boot camp for a day, I think they could come back very strong.
Well, Crack Clan, or the old gameplay team, whatever you want to call them these days, Roccat, you know, they've been under almost every single name. Are superb team. They always have been. They've got Spike in there now. I think that they can do a lot of damage. They've done it before in different events. I mean, they finished third in Dubai. Let's not forget that as well. They're, you know, really top of the, even though it was a different lineup, we'll give you that as well. But I think that Crack Clan, on their day, can really do it. But their problem has been in the past that in the group stage they've done really well, but when it comes to the playoff, they slow down so much, and it's almost like they almost just fade away when it comes to the playoffs. And that's not just necessarily meeting, you know, better teams, because they do beat better teams in the group stages as well.
Oh, certainly. If you're just joining us and watching this and wondering why we're not talking about the match, it's all over. We just have to talk for another 5 rounds before we can hand over to our interviewer that will probably be Matt's special rider. And what's he going to say? He's going to probably grab Wally, and this time Wally's going to have a smile on his face.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like you said earlier, you want to kind of just hug Wally a little bit.
You did before this match, because he was so upset. It's like he you know, lost his toy. You hug him, you pick him up, and look what he does. His toy, his AWP, his whatever it is, has come back big for SK, and he's the kind of player that can change things and change tournaments.
Certainly can, and like you said, just a few more hours to go. If you're just joining us, you're joining us just a little bit too late. You've missed all the day's action. Of course, we started off with Faculty versus MTW, which actually was a really, really great game. And from the lineup of matches that we saw today, that was kind of picked out as the weaker one, but Faculty came out really well. They were quite impressive in my opinion. They gave MTW scares in some places, but MTW proved, you know, they are the stronger team. They are, in my opinion, the #1 team in the world right now. Then we had Fnatic versus MTW, which they kind of confirmed that. They pretty much destroyed Fnatic in that second game. Then Attacks versus Mouse Sports, which was definitely the highlight of the day. Really, really close game where obviously all German affair. We had a big crowd here. Everyone was really pumped up for that one. That went down really nicely. And then SK versus Mouse Sports again. Superbly close game.
Let me throw a question to you, Joe. Mouse Sports are going out. Would they have gone out if they were in Group A?
I think that's debatable in a way. I think the bottom 3 teams in Group A, Faculty, Blank, Millennium, are maybe a bit weaker than those bottom 3 teams in Group B. I mean, Group B is stacked, and it happened a lot because Fnatic were in the lower seed coming from the relegation. Other teams were doing that as well. Alternate, for instance, qualified through the relegation from the Intel Extreme Masters main round. They beat Hurai in the main round relegation game. So they didn't even come through as a top seed from that one. ATS did. That's why they went into Group A. So things may have kind of been skewed a little bit by those online qualifiers, but that's what qualifiers do sometimes. Some of the teams that should be seeded high maybe don't do as well in those qualifiers and get seeded a little bit lower. Most of the time, that works out really badly for that team. Like Fnatic usually would end up when they do that in the hard group, but this time it just worked out with how the draw went, that Fnatic went into Group A, which worked out to be the easier group in the end. I
mean, if you look at the actual final standings, because we've talked about this being a game of mixed results and everything. However, Group A, if you look at those 6 names, MTW, Fnatic, ATS, Faculty, Blank, Millennium, they're pretty much, bar, I'd probably put Blank above Faculty. Without seeing today, that's how I would have put them. If you swap Alternate and Mouse Sports, and put then Mouse, MYM, SK, Crack, then Alternate, and then Emulate, that's exactly how I would have put Group B on paper.
Yep, and Alternate, as we said earlier on, are the team that have come out and shown us all that we should be watching them and paying them more attention and not just writing them off, because a lot of people wrote them off in this one. I don't remember reading an article where someone said, watch out for Alternate, they could be the ones.
No, but...
apart from Carmack, I'll give him that. He did say that to me.
It's only because people tell him. You can't give Carmack credit. He's got an MSN list of all the esports stars who are out there playing, and he just picks, you know, he spams them all a message, who's going to win, and he aggregates it all by them and then takes it. So he cheats.
So, what if you were in charge of Mouse Sports now? What would you do?
I'd recruit an ET team and a COD team, and then I would probably look at them and say, maybe we weren't ready for this, because that's the only thing. And I say this out of pure ignorance. I pluck a thought out of the air for this one. They didn't look like a team that were 100% prepared for it. They didn't look like a team who wanted it. They didn't look like a team who wanted Dubai. Yeah. You're right, because that team looked unbeatable.
Yeah. Yeah, the team that were in Dubai certainly looked completely different to what we've seen here today. You know, Mouse Sports against SK, they look great. And then they went off, they've lost to Crack Clan, who we shouldn't count Crack Clan out as being, you know, like a bad team or anything. They are a formidable team. They're a team that have always been kind of up there, third in Dubai, numerous other big placings as well in lots and lots of different tournaments for years. And they're certainly no pushover in that situation. But you'd expect Mouse Sports under pressure on home soil to actually win that game.
Oh, undoubtedly, and they should have done better. However, Mouse Sports will be going home tonight, and it's only, you know, there's a silver lining to every cloud. Mouse Sports have only got a short drive to go. Everyone else has got to go a long way, so that's the positive that can be taken from it. And it's not very positive.
Not very positive at all, and I'm sure the Mouse guys really aren't all that happy with what has gone on here. But anyway, this game is now over. SK, of course, winning against MYM, and well, SK will go through into the next round. In third place, in fact, as far as our calculations can tell us, and Crack Clan in the fourth place. So we kind of get our fixtures almost for the next round, which will be Alternate versus Fnatic. Oh no, that's not actually done there. because yeah, that is right.
That's right.
Yeah. So alternate versus Fnatic, MTW versus MYM. Crazy
That'll be
game.
a great game.
And then
SK versus
SK.
ATS.
Yeah, SK versus ATS.
SK have done their job. They've gone through. They've pulled out a result.
That was
just
totally
when they
wrong.
needed it.
That was totally wrong, by the way.
Well, you can. This is a good enough reason.
Here we go.
to
MTW alternate both through. Meet Your Makers versus ATS, then Fnatic versus the third place team, which is SK. There you go.
Fnatic SK. What a game that'll be.
Good game.
Matt Special Rider is looking for interviews, and he's talking to Zet, and I think Zet is saying, "What was that question you asked about me? Go on, Zet, give him an interview."
Okay.
He has been declined.
Hello. Wally, can we get a few words with you? What emotions are going through your head right now? Happiness, euphoria, ecstasy?
Well, I don't really know what the group stage looks like right now, but of course we're really happy to have another shot at it, even if we place fourth or whatever, because I don't know what it looks like right now.
You were in a pretty dark, deep pit emotionally after losing that mouse sports game, and now everything's been turned on its head, right?
Yeah, you could say that, I guess, but it's hard to say too. I mean, we've been playing a really good first half and then just failing second half, and now this time around we managed to get the pistol round second half and start rolling, and that's the way we've been playing when we were practicing at home, and that's why I had so high expectations on us, and that's why I'm a bit disappointed. But I mean, we advanced and still have a shot at the global finals at least, so we're happy.
Well, what would it mean to you to go on and take the global finals?
That would be kind of random. I don't think a lot of people would be happy then, but it would be hilarious for sure.
Well, thanks for your time. It's been an absolutely crazy event so far. Mouse Sports might be out after losing to Crack Clan, and everything is just absolute madness here. I think it's probably one of the most intense tournaments in the history of Counter-Strike. Back to Daniel.
Ich danke dir. Ja, damit sind wir zurück und haben den ersten Spieltag hier abgeschlossen in Counter-Strike 1.6. Und man muss sagen, es gibt die erste wirklich richtig dicke Überraschung. Und ja, es hatte sich den ganzen Tag irgendwie so schon wie ein roter Faden durchs Programm gezogen. Man hat es immer wieder gehört, MYM Sports ist raus. MYM Sports hat also wirklich es nicht geschafft, hier die Titelverteidigung erfolgreich anzugehen. Sie landen auf Platz Nummer 5 in der Gruppe B und sind damit komplett raus, haben keinerlei Chancen mehr, da den Titel noch irgendwie zu holen oder sich irgendwie mit in die Titelverteidigung einzubringen. Dafür muss man Team Alternate gratulieren. Die haben sich hier erfolgreich durch die Todesgruppe B gekämpft und erfolgreich auf Platz 1 ja, die direkte Qualifikation geschafft, sind damit durch und die werden wir auf jeden Fall auf den Global Finals sehen. In der Gruppe B, gucken wir eben mal noch auf die restlichen Plätze, hat es Meet Your Makers aus Polen auf Platz 2 geschafft. Dann haben wir auf Platz 3 die Jungs von SK Gaming, die mit dem Sieg gerade eben alles in trockene Tücher gebracht haben. Und auf Platz 4 überraschend der Crack Clan. Der hat es geschafft, ist im direkten Vergleich punktgleich mit MYM Sports, hat aber gegen MYM Sports jetzt das letzte Match gewonnen und dementsprechend weiter. Auf Platz 6 Emulate, auch die haben gegen MYM Sports gewonnen. Das allererste Spiel heute Morgen, wir erinnern uns, und dementsprechend auch ein bisschen mit dafür verantwortlich, dass MYM Sports raus ist. In der Gruppe A sieht das Ganze ein bisschen entspannter aus. MTW DK, großer Favorit, macht den ersten Platz klar. Fnatic Platz 2. Auf Platz 3 And Then Some, der Ersatz dort, der dort eingesprungen ist. Auf Platz 4 haben wir Faculty. Die haben morgen also nochmal die Chance, sich zu qualifizieren. Dann auf Platz 5 Leg Blank und auf Platz 6 Millennium. Das war der erste Tag hier auf den Intel Extreme Masters Continental Finals Europe. Morgen sind wir wieder ab 10 Uhr für euch da, dann mit einer Menge World of Warcraft und natürlich auch dort noch einem MYM Sports Team. Wenn ihr Lust habt und Zeit habt, kommt zum CeBIT-Gelände hier nach Hannover in die Intel Gaming Hall Halle 22. Wir zeigen euch morgen noch, was es hier alles so viel Spannendes gibt. Hoffen, ihr schaltet morgen auch wieder zahlreich ein. Schreibt uns euer Feedback in die Comments, wünschen euch einen wunderschönen Abend. Schaltet nicht ab. Bis dann. Tschüss.